Hello, everyone. We have another special speaker announcement for the 2026 Midwest Real Estate Investor Conference, which is happening April 27th and 28th of 2026, right here at the DeVos Place Conference Center in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Today, I'm joined by Paul Moore, founder of Wellings Capital and a commercial real estate investor with over 100 investments and exits. Paul invests across self-storage, mobile home parks, and apartments, along with having experience in rehabs, multifamily development, hotel projects, and larger commercial assets. He's also a best-selling author focused on institutional quality real estate and long-term wealth preservation. Paul, thanks for joining me today.
Hey, it's great to be here, Brian. Good to see you again.
I'm looking forward to seeing you at the conference. It'll be the first time you and I ever meet in person, which is very exciting to me because you've been on the podcast probably at least 5 times.
Amazing. It's been almost a decade since we started doing shows together.
You were in the first year of the 10 years that I've been hosting. So anyway, tell our listeners, like, what can they expect when they come hear you speak on your topic?
Well, I'm a little nervous to tell you because I'm worried that people are going to be bored because the talk is called The Boring Investor. Grow your real estate wealth by applying lessons from the world's greatest investors. You know, Brian, many of us, including me, invested in multifamily over a decade and watched many people chase the exciting stuff, and it worked for a while. And then the music stopped. And a lot of real estate investors today are still suffering with the fallout. Things like paused distributions, emergency capital calls, dilution, foreclosures, deals pitched, to professionals as set it and forget it now are causing a lot of stress. And a lot of investors today aren't even looking for the next big thing. They're just looking for something that works. And the simple truth that gets lost in boom times and busts is that most wealth in real estate, just like everything else, most is created without drama, without headlines, without excitement. And honestly, it would be considered boring. But Brian, here's the strange part. Even after all the pain that people have gone through and are still going through, many investors have still got these old tapes playing in their heads. They feel like a mid-teens, like a 14, 15, 16% return would make them yawn. And conservative underwriting feels unambitious. And, risk-adjusted thinking feels dull. And honestly, I am actually getting ready to email my investors, Brian, and confront them for this. Maybe I shouldn't say that. I'm going to confront them for thinking like they still believe in Santa Claus, because here's the reality. High risk does not lead to high returns. High risk leads to higher potential returns and higher potential losses too, especially in these uneven markets like we have now. And so my talk in Grand Rapids is going to help investors permanently adjust their thinking, not to reflect just today's reality, but to help them build wealth for decades to come. My goal is going to be to help people think like Warren Buffett. I mean, his style the last 7 decades would be considered boring. Jeff Bezos asked Buffett, he's like, your investment strategy is so simple. Why doesn't everybody just imitate you? And Buffett said, well, no one wants to get rich slowly. Yet, if you didn't know this, and you can check it out yourself, if Berkshire Hathaway lost 99% of its value, 99 cents out of every dollar, they would still wallop the S&P 500 index over the last 60 years by like 40%. So think about that. I mean, this is a boring investor, and it worked, and it works for real estate too, Brian. If you're an investor and you want to keep swinging for the fences, hoping this time will be different, this probably won't be the talk for you. But if you want to turn the hard lessons many of us learned in 2008 and in these past 3 or 4 years into a strategy to really build wealth for decades to come, this could be a pivotal moment for you.
That's powerful. I'm looking forward to hearing what you have to say on that. When you look at the market going forward and technology, I mean, what do you see happening for investors, and where do you see investments heading?
Brian, I'm going to be a little bit of a pain here. I'm going to be a contrarian on this point as well. Though it's hard to believe, I'm writing a book on Warren Buffett, reflecting on how he invests in stocks and companies and how you apply that to real estate. And though it's hard to believe, Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger claimed they never had a single conversation about the economy, ever, when making a divestment or an investment decision in about 60 years. And, Buffett explained that they have a three-pronged goal in any economy, not just 2026, any economy. And number one, it's to acquire durable assets that have a strong future, regardless of a war in the Middle East, a CEO scandal, the latest election, the latest economic news. And this is the proverbial horse in the Kentucky Derby. Second, invest with a strong manager, a management team with decades of experience, a management team with strong people, great systems, and a workable strategy. And this is the jockey in the Kentucky Derby. And then third, acquire assets with meaningful intrinsic value. Buffett said, price is what you pay, value is what you get. And Buffett always sought deals that have untapped value that can be extracted through great management, marketing, erecting moats, and more. And so all these strategies can be successfully implemented in real estate better than in the public equities world, I'm convinced. So the answer to your question, Brian, is that the strategies we're following at Wellings Capital and I'll be discussing are evergreen. They're not just for 26 or 2027. They should work for the rest of our lives.
Paul, what's your number one hack or app that you just can't live without?
A lot of people have a lot of apps that we all know about, and we use them too, HubSpot, Slack, other things like that. Those are great. But I'll tell you an unusual one that I use is Bonjoro. Bonjoro is one of many video softwares that allows me to do video emails to investors. And sometimes when I want to, email an investor if they have a hard question, I'd rather than spend 30 minutes typing out an answer, I'll just jump on the camera and give them a 3 or 4 minute Bonjoro. That's spelled Bonjoro. And they get to feel the emotion. They get to see my heart behind the answer, not just the words on a page.
Well, having received some of those Bonjoros from you, I know that they can be quite effective. So that's an excellent hack and tool that you just shared with us. Paul, you are going to be speaking Tuesday, April 28th at 9:30 a.m. And just as a reminder, the conference, the 2026 Midwest Real Estate Investor Conference, is happening April 27th and 28th at DeVos Place Conference Center in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And to learn more and to register, you can go to MidwestREIConference.com. That's MidwestREIConference.com. Paul, I can't wait to see you there. Thanks so much for doing this promo with me.
You bet, Brian. Can't wait to see you too.